down to info to go. As the Census Bureau prepares for its 2010 head count, one key concern involves reaching illegal immigrants. Our next guest is here to talk about the plight of illegal immigrants during this economic downturn. We welcome Rob Rutland-Brown, Executive Director of the nonprofit Just Neighbors. Rob, thank you for being here with us. I read a recent Pew Hispanic Center for Research study. It found only 31% of Latinos rate immigration issues as extremely important. 57% are focused on the economy. Talk about the toll this downturn in the economy has taken on this segment of our population.
Sure. Well, of course, immigrants, both people that are documented and undocumented, are really experiencing a difficult time during this economic downturn. A lot of the clients that we're seeing are families that are split in terms of their document status. So you might have spouses where one person has papers and the other doesn't. So if the individual with papers has to work less hours or gets laid off, then the undocumented individual is coming forward and oftentimes looking to see how they can get papers. If there's a way to get a work permit or a green card, and there's not always something they're eligible for. Another issue we're seeing is people who are experiencing problems from the foreclosure crisis. A lot of our clients are renting, and we had an Afghan family recently who, a family of 6, was renting from a house and the owner got foreclosed upon, and so now they're out of a place to live. Another issue we're seeing rise during these difficult economic times is domestic violence, and this affects the immigrant population disproportionately. A lot of our clients are immigrants who have experienced domestic violence and are afraid to call the police for help and are stuck in this situation because of their immigration status. And during these financial times, they might feel more afraid to come out and seek help because they're more dependent on the abuser who may be the breadwinner in the family.
What can Just Neighbors actually do for these people in these varying situations? Sure.
Well, it really depends on the person's situation. For the case of the people that are victims of domestic violence, there are 2 laws that do protect these women called the WUSA law and the VAWA law. And we encourage these women to come out and work with the police so that they can take full advantage of these laws. In certain cases, there's nothing that can be done. We tell clients who aren't eligible for any immigration benefits to keep paying attention to the news, to not pay someone to apply for them if it's not in accordance with the laws. A lot of our clients have been scammed and lost hundreds or thousands of dollars to people who make false promises to them.
We said the Census Bureau wants to reach out and count these illegal immigrants. And when, as you pointed out, you have Afghan families. They come from all parts of the globe, near and far. Will Just Neighbors get involved in trying to help count these illegal immigrants? If so, why is it important that they be counted?
Well, we recently met with someone from the Census Bureau who was telling us the importance of this, and it's absolutely critical. The amount of money that different regions get from the federal government is dependent on the population in that area, whether or not they have legal status. So we all benefit from everyone being counted because the communities will then get more money, school systems will improve, healthcare services will improve, it'll be helpful across the board. And so we're trying to educate people not to be afraid to respond to the census because their immigration status is not going to be looked into, and it's not something where they're going to need to fear immigration in this case.
If someone comes here illegally but they have a child here, making that child a U.S. citizen, do they get moved up in the legal documentation ladder?
No, that's one of the misconceptions that people have. If you come here illegally, of course, there's lots of different nuances to the law, but generally speaking, having a United States child here does not therefore enable you to get legal status.
It's going to be an interesting event, and we'll find out how the Obama administration is going to deal with this as the months go on. Thank you, Rob, for being here with us.